This is why you should not listen to your teacher. Once something terrifying happened to Sophia when she got to school. She went to class as usual when her teacher burst into the room and said, "Sophia, I have some bad news." She was shocked and embarrassed to be called out like that in front of her whole class. Her teacher then said, "Get your things, I just got off the phone with your father. He said your mom was in a horrible accident and he's gonna pick you up now and take you to the hospital." Sophia instantly froze in horror. She tried to explain, but her teacher kept interrupting her. "Why are you just standing around? Get your things now." But Sophia wouldn't move. She knew something wasn't right. She said, "I don't have a father. He passed away long ago and I never got to meet him. I was raised by a single mother all my life." To this day, Sophia still doesn't know who that man was claiming to be her father and what he planned to do if she had gone with him. Can you solve this mystery? This is a story of a family that witnessed a horrible accident, but things are not as they seem, and all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So this family was taking the bus across the country to visit some relatives, but halfway through the trip, the two kids started complaining to their parents that they were hungry. The parents then requested the bus to pull over near a roadside diner and got off the bus one by one, but inside the diner, they saw something that terrified them. On the TV, they saw a news report of an accident nearby. A bus had been crushed by falling rocks and everyone on board had passed away. This was the same bus that they were just on. The wife then said, "I wish we had never gotten off that bus." The husband looked shocked. "How could you say that?" But then he thought about it for a second and said, "Oh, I see, you're right. We shouldn't have gotten off that bus." Why did they say this? Can you solve this mystery? If a package arrives at your door, don't do what she did. Once there was a girl named Gabby who received a mysterious package in the mail. There was no name and address written on it, so she had no idea where it came from. She opened it anyways, and inside was a DVD with no title or cover on the case. Thinking it might be one of her friends pranking her, she called them over to her house. Her friends arrived and none of them knew what the mysterious package was, so they decided to watch the DVD together. Immediately, they were surprised at what they saw on the TV screen. There was a clown standing in a normal-looking bedroom. The clown was holding two red balloons and stared deeply into the camera. Then slowly his expression turned into a menacing grin. Gabby's friends thought it was funny and began laughing, but Gabby just sat there with a terrified look in her eyes. Eventually her friends asked, "What's wrong? Isn't this hilarious?" Gabby replied with her voice shaking, "That's my bedroom." If this happens to you, do not open the door. Once there was a girl named Donna who lived with her father, but he went out of town for a business trip, so Donna was left alone in the house. Then one night she heard the doorbell ring. She went downstairs and was about to open the door, assuming it was her father, but she stopped. Something wasn't right. She looked through the peephole and saw her father staring back at her. His eyes were wide open and he looked terrified, but the doorbell kept ringing. Donna said, "Dad, did you forget your keys?" No answer. "Dad, say something." Still no answer. Donna said, "I'm not opening the door until you say something." Eventually the ringing stopped and Donna fell asleep. The next morning, she looked through the peephole again. Her father was still there as if he hadn't moved all night. She finally opened the door and what she saw horrified her. Her father's head was hanging from above the door, and there was a note attached to the doorbell with only two words: "Clever girl." Can you solve this mystery? This is a story of a soldier who called his parents before coming home from war, but someone here is hiding something, and all the clues to what really happened are hidden in what I'm about to say. So in this call, the soldier told his parents, "I'll be home in a few days. Do you think I can stay with you for a while?" His parents said, "Of course, you can live with us for as long as you want." Then the soldier said, "One of my buddies here is nowhere to go. Would it be okay if he stayed with us too? But one thing you should know is he accidentally stepped on a landmine and lost his arms and legs." There was a long pause. Then his mom said, "That's fine for a few days, but caring for him would be such a burden for your father and I. Maybe we can find him some kind of a nursing home." The soldier hung up without another word. The next day, the parents were notified that their son took his own life, but it wasn't until they went to collect his body that they found out the truth. Why did the soldier's parents break down in tears the moment the coffin opened? Can you solve this mystery? If you like taking photos, don't do what he did. Once 4 boys drove to a tunnel to take photos at night, but this quickly took a horrifying turn. Once they arrived, they got out of the car and took a self-timer photo by the tunnel. But when they got back in the car, the boy sitting in the driver's seat didn't turn on the ignition. Instead, he asked, "You guys would never leave me, right?" The other boys were confused. "Of course not. Why would you ask that?" Then he said, "Look at my feet." The other boys started screaming. Coming through the floor of the car were 2 white hands with long fingernails, and it was grabbing the ankles of their friend in the driver's seat. The 3 boys opened the car doors and ran. After a while, they walked back up to the car to check on their friend. That's when they saw the headlights were still on, but the car was completely empty. The boy in the driver's seat was never seen again.